Hello shoalmates and welcome back. Today I wanted to give you guys an update on how the axolotls from Susie Q are doing. Now if you remember a few videos ago I showed you these guys hatching out. Miss Susie sent us some axolotl eggs and we had them for about a week and a half before they hatched, and now they are growing up and they're almost ready to move on to their new home. So I thought I'd take a little time today to show you guys some of these and a feeding and talk to you about how we've been raising them. So here we have 3 in a breeder box. Now these guys still are a little bit on the small size, but they are getting pretty big. This one's the bigger out of all 3, but we keep them sectioned because they are cannibalistic. They are doing so good. They have their arms now, they have their legs, their arms and their legs have little toes. It's so cute. And we keep these guys about 71 degrees in here. They each have their own little piece of Saswassertang for hiding, for comfort. They have their own large adult ram's horn snail for a companion. And they each have just a half a piece of a very small catalpa leaf just for a bed for protection. And they have been thriving in here. They eat so well for us. We started them off with baby brine shrimp and they did fantastic. This one is so silly, he just loves to float. But yes, we started them off with baby brine shrimp. They also really like tetratropical granules. They love bloodworms. They love frozen brine shrimp. They're a little bit too big for baby brine shrimp now, so I've been doing a lot of the carnivore pellets lately, and today that's actually what I will be feeding them. And I have another set of breeder boxes right here, and that's their keeper, Grogu, riding a snail, always dancing because he's happy. And these are 2 bigger axolotls from the same hatch out from Susie Q. This big old dude right here is Duke, and Duke is almost a full finger length. He is gorgeous. He's a melanistic. He has the GFP gene, the green fluorescent protein, so he does glow under a blue or black light. Although with axolotls, it's highly recommended blue light if you want to see their glowiness, because black lights aggravate them, and the last thing you want to do is aggravate these adorable, adorable little guys. But Duke is quite the character, and I'm actually going to be keeping Duke, but all the other axolotls that we have right now are going to be available soon on the get-gills. And over here is a Dirty Lucy, as they call her, and she is quite the Olympic athlete. She loves to jump out up here and into the tanks when I'm in here cleaning out with the turkey baster. So she'll jump straight out and into the tank. I was actually telling that story on my live stream yesterday with Miss Mary and Miss Dee Dee on the Hot Mess Express. And this morning she did it again, except when she did it this morning, she ate one of my exclamation point rasboras. So I'm not sure she's gonna want to eat right now because she has already eaten. You guys know if you have pets, if you have fish, sometimes they will travel if they see a meal, hence the white paper now, so they can't see the fish in the tanks behind them and want to jump out and eat them. So I've had to take some measures so they won't want to go and jump out anymore. But let's get to it. Today we are going to be feeding these guys just some carnivore pellets. I can feed them whole ones because they are big enough, but I am concerned of them choking on them because they are still quite small axolotls. So I break them up into little pieces, and depending on which axolotl it is, they get that size piece. And I am hand feeding them at the moment. What I do is I will take just the tiniest piece of food because it's just a tiny baby, and I drop it in the water. I give it a moment just to suck up some water. And I'll actually do all 3 of these because these guys are usually pretty good eaters. But I don't like to let them sit too long because if they sit too long they get really squishy and then it's harder to hand feed them. Because they don't, I've spoiled them a little bit, they become a little bit of Madonnas, and they like to be hand fed now. So what I do is I'll take this pipette, it's not a very big pipette, I think it's 3 milliliters, and I just use the suction power to pick up that little tiny piece of food, like so, suction it up, and I bring it over to the axolotl baby, hold it above him, and he eats it. Good job, little one. This one was being a little feisty. Oh, he spit it out. Is that too big? You want to try again? Want to try one more time? Off. That one might be too big for him. But he's interested. Now this one, he was giving me a little bit of eating difficulties at first. He didn't want to eat, so that's why I began hand feeding. And he's been doing a lot better since. Here, let's try a little smaller piece. There we go. Oh, are you just not wanting this today? One more time. We'll try one more time, and if not, we're moving on. Let's see. Alrighty, I'm having difficulties here. I'm sorry. It wasn't a fish that touched you. Okay, he's giving me a little bit of difficulty, so I'll have to come back to him later and feed him. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's try with him. He's been doing a lot better eating. They can be quite finicky eaters at times, but normally if they're hungry, they're just gonna hoover it up. Let's see how this one does. Off. They're such aggressive feeders. There we go. And he got some. Do you want some more? You want some more? Good job, baby. Good job. Now he'll sit there and he'll slowly work on getting that down. I'm sorry if I'm shaking, guys. But yeah, okay. And he's like, okay, where's mine? Where's mine? Where's mine? It's coming, baby. See, he's gonna immediately, he knows. He's a very good eater. So I'm gonna pick up his little squishy piece of food without him biting my thumb up top. And let's see how he does. There we go. Good job, baby. Look at you. Good job. They do so well. I was feeding them 5 times a day when they were much smaller. Now they're eating 2 to 3 times a day. They typically tell me when they're hungry. If they're at the front glass, I know that they want something to eat, and I will give them something to eat. Also, you can tell when they're hungry because their stomachs will retract, and it'll look like they have ribs on the sides of their body, but that's just the skin retracting. And that means it's time to feed your little babies. Let's see if he takes that. He might not just be that hungry right now. Okay, alrighty, I'll leave you guys alone. And because I've learned my lesson, always close the lid, guys. Don't let your babies get away. So now we're gonna feed the bigger guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm always nervous feeding her because she loves to jump out of the tank. So I'm gonna go in just ever so delicately with her and try not to spook her at all, so she doesn't get a case of the zoomies, and just get her fed. So let's get this done. I dropped the food in. Gotta fish it back over to sink it. There we go. Oh, she ate it! I didn't even need to do that to her today. No hand feeding. Good job, little one. But apparently she doesn't, she must be in her teenage angst. She doesn't want to turn around and look at me and say thank you. It's okay. I love you anyways. You're welcome. But let's get on to the big bad boy Duke. He's not bad boy. He acts like a bad boy. He's just a big mama's boy. Now, usually all I have to do is put the pipette in the water and he'll just come on over. He is the most aggressive feeder out of all of the axolotl babies. And you'll see why in a second. Yeah, he doesn't even wait. He's hungry. He's like, let's go. Let's go. Normally I would feed them with tweezers, but I don't want them to hurt their faces. That's why I'm using these little plastic pipettes, because they are such aggressive feeders and they will sometimes grab on and not let go. And they are soft-bodied creatures, so I don't want them to hurt themselves when they bite metal, because they will bite the metal if you're hand feeding them. But they eat so well for me. And that was half of a carnivore pellet that he just inhaled. And he's gonna sit here with his mouth slightly open, just working on it. And then he will slowly swallow that, and it'll sit in his belly. And a little later, he'll have his lunch. So that is Axolotl baby feeding here down on the Peplin Creek compound. And yes, don't forget to close your lids to keep your babies safe and your other babies safe from some of your babies. Right, Dirty Lucy? Right. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this feeding time with me for these little baby axolotls. I'm probably gonna try to give him his feeding one more time. And then I will move on to the rest of my fishy business for today. We will also be moving these guys on to bigger tanks now. They are getting bigger, and I would like them to have as much room as possible. So the more room they can have, the more fun they can have. Because when they're babies, they do love to swim. They're just like kids, like human children. They love to play, and they need room to do that. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have found it as entertaining as I have when I feed them. And I hope you guys just make it a great day. And always love you all. Bye.